this is Rana, and today I have a layout that I created for Helen Ding's 1,000 subscriber hop. She created this sketch for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, so we are to use that to participate with her hop. I'm also entering a challenge on the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group. And I'm using my 52 weeks of 52 favorite photos in this, and I'll talk a little bit more about those photos as well as what we were using for the challenge at Rediscover Your Stash. So here's my photos. These were taken at my mother-in-law's memory care where she is, and this is going to be in my grandson's book. So he's kind of featured here. And I'm telling a story about him and his great-grandma. So I'm using this collection, and it is a Simple Stories collection, Into the Wild. And the paper that I showed you first was a reminisce paper. It was actually for a winter line, and it was from 2013. So I am digging into Stash and using some things up, and I'm excited about that. The Rediscover Your Stash hop, it's not a hop, it's a challenge, and it's in the Facebook group, and it was a pick 5, and Holly fiercely put that on, or grab 5, and the choices that I am going to be using are ephemera, and you were to use florals, icons, that kind of thing, foam stickers, and the foam stickers needed to be phrases, washi tape, which you're not going to see me use my washi tape. I kind of forgot, but I added it at the end where I knew I was going to. I just forgot to do it while I was still on screen. Tickets, which you can already see there, and chipboard stickers. So my chipboard stickers will come into play here in just a little bit. So first, I loved this reminisce paper. I liked the distressing that it had, and I just thought it really went well with these pictures. So that's why I chose that. This orange that I am using, all of these papers from Into the Wild were scraps that I had. So I had the biggest piece of orange, and I decided to use it. Helen's sketch had a top and bottom little feature, and this piece of paper has triangles or arrows in my case. That was actually one of the grab 5. I didn't count it because it's not like real arrows, but I did all of my arrows kind of all facing each other. So the top faces down, the bottom faces up, the left side faces the right side faces the left. So it kind of like all zeroes in on the photos, and I liked how that looked. So I'm going to go ahead and it looked like on the sketch she had either a double layer or some kind of distressing around the edges. I went with ink for this one, and I think I hold the ink up. I think it's Scorched Timber actually that I'm using. I'll hold it up here in a minute, so hopefully you'll be able to read that, but I'm pretty sure it's Scorched Timber. I did go over the white areas. I was going to leave it white, but then I just decided, I've distressed everything else with this ink. I might as well add that as well. So I'm doing that. You can't hardly see it on this brown, but just in case some of the white from the background is showing, I'm going to go ahead and, that was really fast holding it up, but it was Scorched Timber. I went around the wood grain also. That's also a Simple Stories. It's not from this collection, but it is a Simple Stories product as well. So I wish I would have made this orange piece a little bit bigger because I was cutting off of a scrap and I wanted to keep some of it, but I really should have made it a little bit bigger than I did. Trying to make sure it's lined up, but then as I go through, you'll see here, it's not going to fit like that. So in the sketch, more of her larger piece did show, which would have worked if I would have cut mine a little bit bigger and more of mine would have shown as well, but I'm going to fix it. And I still really like how it worked out, and I liked having more of the white space on that right-hand side. So it worked out fine. I wish I would have cut it a little bit bigger, but it's still fine. I like it, so it's not a big deal. So one of my title pieces is going to say Life's a Zoo, And I'm not just, trying to make fun or anything. This was a petting zoo that we were at. Um, I'm not going to show my journaling on screen because my journaling is going to include where my mother-in-law is living, and I didn't, feel like I should have that on screen. So the journaling is done after I stopped recording and took my pictures. There is my chipboard, and I have a koala. And no, there's not a picture of a koala in my pictures. There was no koala at the petting zoo. It's an emu, and I just went with, an emu is from Australia, and so are koalas. So I went with that. I am going to come in with a turtle because there was a turtle at our petting zoo here too, and an iguana that is not Australian, probably, or at the petting zoo, either one, but it was cute and I liked how its little tail kind of curved around the picture like it did, so I used it anyway. Everything doesn't have to go exactly right. So I'm looking at the phrases, and I had kind of originally thought I was going to do the Life's a Zoo from the puffies, but I really liked bringing in all the colors of the collection. And since my grandson is wearing red, I wanted some reds in this, even though a lot of the papers that I'm using and everything are oranges and browns and greens. I wanted the red in there, and the best way for me to do that was to get some of these pieces from the collection that had all the colors, and that way I do have the red also represented. And so that's why I chose to do that and include all of the colors. And I did add the red tickets as well. And my little piece of washi is a red and white stripe. So it will also kind of draw your eye around and also, focus on him and the color that he's wearing so that he stands out in the pictures. So I do add some foam tape behind several of these pieces. The photos have Fun Foam, which is from Walmart, and it's only adhesive on one side, so you saw me add the adhesive to the other side of it. I like using that behind my photos because I can cut a nice big piece, and it's not going to make the photos dented in the middle if I have missed a place or whatever. And here I'm gluing down the sticker that was the foam sticker. The whole top came off, and that has never happened before. I would love to hear your experience with foam stickers. If you've ever had the top come off, it's like foam on the bottom and like a cardstock over top of it, and the adhesive just let go, and as I was placing it, it just fell right off. So I really hope that's not going to be a problem in my albums in the future, because I do use a lot of foam stickers and I really like them. But I was pretty upset to see that happened, but it's not a big deal for this one because I saw it and it came right off in my hand, so I just glued it on. And I think that the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive will hold it just fine on that foam in the background. But hopefully we don't all find, all of the cardboard or chipboard, or not chipboard, but cardstock fallen off of all of our foam stickers in the future and at the bottom of our album pages. That will be very upsetting, I'm sure, if you use lots of them like I do. So I'm using 1mm foam tape on the back of several of these. I get that from scrapbook.com. And then I also come in with some 2mm foam tape behind certain things that it needed to be a little bit higher. I am adding some foam tape behind the chipboard so that it can rest. Part of it was resting over the photo, and since it was popped up, this needed to be popped up a little bit higher. So that does make the little koala the highest item, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I just have the 1mm foam tape behind the Life's a Zoo, and well, I don't yet. It looks like I'm adding it now. So it will kind of tuck up under the photos just a little bit. It has a pretty thick white border, and I did kind of toy with the idea of taking some of that white border off, but I do like that it makes it stand out, so I just left it, and it will kind of fit up underneath and fill in that area. I added that last little bit of viney over the balloons. I liked the greenery in the other areas, and I wanted to have one in this third cluster. I did keep pretty true to Helen's sketch. I kept my photos. I used 3 photos. I didn't space them exactly like she did, and I think mine are a little bit smaller, but I had 3 different sizes, which is what she had in the sketch. I had 3 embellishment clusters, which is what she had in the sketch. I did the strips and the printed paper blocks. So I think I followed it pretty well. I'm not always great with sketches, and I enjoyed doing this one, so I think that was a win. She didn't have a banner or anything up in that top, but again, I was just trying to keep the flow with all the colors of the collection in several areas so that it just looked like it was intentional. So I do, of course, add some deluxe adhesive, Nuvo deluxe adhesive behind the chipboard because we know chipboard never sticks. And it does have adhesive on the back, but it wouldn't have stayed, I'm sure. So I did glue that down. And then I have one more little tree, and it's going to land there, and I'm going to add some foam tape behind it as well. And it's actually the 2mm foam tape to make it stand up just a little bit higher than that other tree. So there are playlists down below, and I will have all of the playlists listed because I have several hops, 52 weeks of 52 favorites, the Christy's Beautiful Life, and Helen's 1,000 subscriber hop. I did mention that this was some favorite photos, and that's because in part of the journaling and the story, Grayson is just so helpful, so kind, so respectful to all of the people who are living in this memory care facility with my mother-in-law, and I love when he visits with me there with her, and I love the relationship, and he really does bring a lot of joy to the people who live there. So that was kind of what I was telling in my story today and why it was a favorite photo. Thanks a lot for joining me. I appreciate you being here, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.